In a distant corner of the galaxy, where stars twinkled like diamonds on a velvet canvas, there existed a small blue planet known as Earth. It was home to a remarkable species called humans, often underestimated by the vast and advanced civilizations that surrounded them. Among these humans was a man named Daniel, a seemingly ordinary individual with an extraordinary talent for kindness. Daniel lived in a quiet town, working as a librarian, a role that suited him perfectly. He loved being surrounded by books and stories, helping others find the knowledge and adventures contained within their pages. It was in these quiet moments that he truly thrived, making connections with patrons, listening to their stories, and sharing his own. One day, an unusual event occurred. A massive starship descended from the heavens, landing in the town square with a thunderous crash. The ship was adorned with the emblem of the Arcanthian Empire, a species known throughout the galaxy for their militaristic ways and their intimidating reputation. News spread like wildfire, and the townsfolk watched in fear as the ship's hatch opened, revealing a troop of tall, armored Arcanthians. The aliens emerged, their eyes scanning the crowd with cold indifference. They had come to Earth on a mission, to acquire humans for a grand intergalactic zoo, a spectacle for the amusement of the galaxy's elite. The townspeople were terrified, hiding behind cars and buildings, praying not to be seen. As panic swept through the crowd, Daniel felt a surge of determination. He stepped forward, raising his hands in a gesture of peace. "Wait," he called out, his voice steady but calm. "You don't need to take anyone against their will." The Arcanthian leader, a towering figure named Commander Thrax, turned to Daniel with a mixture of surprise and amusement. "And what would you propose, human? You think you can stop us?" "I'm not here to stop you," Daniel said, his heart racing but his voice unwavering. "I just want to talk. We're not animals to be caged. We're people. Let me show you why." Thrax tilted his head, intrigued. "Very well. You have my attention, human." With the eyes of the town and the Arcanthians upon him, Daniel began to speak. He told stories of humanity's resilience, creativity, and compassion. He shared how humans had banded together during times of crisis, how they nurtured their loved ones, and how they sought to understand each other across differences. He talked about the power of kindness and how it could bridge divides greater than any walls of steel. As Daniel spoke, he noticed the expressions of the Arcanthian soldiers begin to soften. They had come expecting a primitive species, but they were witnessing something different, a glimpse into the human spirit. "You think your kindness means something in the grand scheme of the galaxy?" Commander Thrax asked, skepticism lacing his tone. "More than you know," Daniel replied, unwavering. "It's not about power or dominance, it's about connection. Every act of kindness creates ripples, influencing those around you. We might be small, but our kindness can change the universe." Thrax was silent for a moment, contemplating Daniel's words. "What would you have us do, then? Instead of taking humans as specimens, why not work with us? We could share our cultures, learn from one another. You may find that kindness isn't a weakness, but a strength that can unite us all." For the first time, Thrax hesitated. He looked at his soldiers, then back at the crowd of frightened townsfolk. In that moment, something shifted within him. "You truly believe this, don't you?" "I do," Daniel said, his sincerity evident. "We may be different, but we're all sentient beings capable of compassion." The commander pondered, and the air felt thick with tension. Finally, he let out a low growl. "Very well. I will consider your proposal." The soldiers exchanged glances, unsure of what to think. Thrax gestured for them to stand down, and the tension in the crowd began to dissipate. "You will have 1 week. If you can prove your worth through your actions and the kindness you speak of, I may reconsider our mission here." With that, the Arcanthians boarded their ship, leaving the townsfolk stunned but relieved. Daniel had done the impossible. He had stood up to a force of nature and convinced them to reconsider their course of action. Over the next few days, Daniel rallied the community, organizing events to showcase human culture, art exhibits, music festivals, and storytelling sessions. The people of the town opened their hearts and homes to the Arcanthians, who slowly began to see the beauty of humanity. One evening, during a shared meal of Earth delicacies, Thrax approached Daniel. "You have shown us much in such a short time, human. We have witnessed your kindness, your community spirit. Perhaps we have misjudged you." Daniel smiled, feeling a warmth spread through him. "We're just getting started. Imagine what we could accomplish together." By the end of the week, the Arcanthians were no longer the intimidating conquerors they had once been. They had become friends, allies, and students of the human experience. As they prepared to leave Earth, Commander Thrax stood before the gathered crowd, his voice booming. "Today, I announce that we will not take humans as specimens. Instead, we shall establish an alliance. Let the galaxy know that Earth is not a planet to be feared but one to be respected." Cheers erupted among the townsfolk, and Daniel felt tears of joy well in his eyes. He had shown them the power of kindness and connection, and in doing so, had changed the fate of his planet. As the Arcanthian ship ascended into the sky, Daniel knew that this was only the beginning. The ripples of compassion he had sown would spread far beyond his little town. In a universe often defined by conflict and power, humanity had a unique strength, the ability to reach across the stars with kindness. In the end, Daniel became known as the nicest guy in the universe, not because he was the strongest or the most powerful, but because he had proven that kindness could indeed change the course of history. And in doing so, he had opened the door for humanity to take its rightful place among the stars, not as pets or specimens, but as partners and equals.